Just us.
Just us.
Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Al Horford, all on the bench, which means the Young Guns were out today to take on the Miami Heat. We are joined today by a very special guest in this recording. Miko Lash the cat is here. Miko, what are you doing?
During our recording yesterday, she was clawing at the door to get in.
Yeah, her
As a
paws
reminder,
were
we're
coming in.
sitting here in my closet recording this podcast, and she felt excluded, so we decided to include her today.
Yeah, she's got things to say about Warrior defense and turnovers, which were the main issue, turnovers specifically. If you looked at the box score, the final score, it was 110 to 96. You would think, wow, they got schmacked. But actually, it was a very competitive game, and for basically 3 quarters, it looked like the Warriors could win. Surprising effort from the Young Guns.
Yeah, so the Warriors were trailing for a majority of the first half, but they cut it down to 4 points with 4 minutes left in the second quarter. And then they tied the game, and then it was within 4 points at halftime. So it was a great defensive effort. Neither of the teams were shooting at a high level.
No.
Both teams were struggling pretty significantly to score the ball. And that kind of carried over into the fourth quarter for the Warriors. But I think the third quarter was where the momentum was heading our way.
Yeah. Ongoing issue throughout the game was the turnovers, as mentioned. Difference this time was the Warriors were using the opportunities given to them by Miami missing to take the ball back to the other side and initially shoot threes that would clank off the rim. But after a while, they got it straight and started going for layups and mid-ranges and, taking the more reliable shots. And that's where they started to bear down on the Heat and close that lead a bunch. So that was a good sign for that crew. But ultimately, it was the shooting that meant that they weren't able to pull ahead in the final moments. Again, as with previous, if you count the baskets that missed, the Warriors would have won that. But sadly, the shooting was very, very, very off today.
Yeah, the Warriors ended up shooting 36% from the field. They were 34 of 94, only 27% on threes, and they also missed a few free throws. Coupling that with the 21 turnovers, I'd say the turnovers were the Achilles heel of the Warriors. This season, last season, in previous seasons, there's an interesting stat that the Warriors this season are undefeated when they commit fewer turnovers than the opposing team.
Steve, just read that out loud to them. Just be like, yo, man, what are you doing?
What are they doing? Some of the turnovers were so silly, right? It's like inbounding the ball after a made basket on the other end, and the other team is stealing it.
Yep. It was typical Warriors stuff, where the other thing was, some of it was because they weren't recognizing what the Heat was doing to them. The Heat like to play fast. And for a bunch of the game, the Warriors were matching that pace and winning when they were taking advantage of the Heat missing their shots. Eventually, though, it started to work against them, where the Warriors were playing faster than they needed to and making decisions way too quickly, which would result in turnovers or some poor choices in shots. So I think that was a major part of why it happened. And it just requires them to take a step back and recognize that they're being sped up, to slow themselves down and be a little more considered when they're moving around and taking shots. That's the kind of thing that a Jimmy Butler would grab everyone and be like, hey, this is what's happening. This is what we're going to do. Or a Steph or a Draymond. So some veteran advice on the court was definitely needed. More than advice, they could probably tell that from the outside. They needed someone to kind of set that tone and set that pace from within the game.
Yeah, without the big three tonight of Jimmy, Steph, and Draymond, it was really up to the young players. TJD, Guy Santos, Moses Moody, Podz, and Will Richard got the start for the game. And Podz ended up with 20 points, but he was only 6 of 19. I thought he had some good defensive plays. He had some good momentum plays. But offensively, no one on the team really was able to execute with efficiency
Yeah.
throughout. There was no
Podz'
consistency.
Podz' 3-point shooting ability remains a myth this season. He was very good, as we mentioned in the last jump shot episode. He was great last season and the season before that in his 3-point shooting. This season, he seems to have just completely lost it. Buddy's in the same category. Buddy made some good shots every now and then during this game, but for the most part, he wasn't performing in the way that you would probably want Buddy Hield, one of the best and most prolific 3-point shooters in the NBA, to be playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And this was game 6 of a 6-game road trip. I do want to talk about how the season has started for the Warriors in terms of their schedule.
Yeah.
They're the only team in the NBA who has played 17 games in the span of 29 days. They also have the most road games, including tonight. That would be 12 road games. And they have a league high five back-to-backs.
Right.
The closest team in terms of back-to-backs only has 3.
Yeah.
And most teams have 0 back-to-backs. That is an incredibly challenging start to the season. Those are all NBA highs, not the types of highs that you want.
No, not at all. And it's no wonder that they're tired.
Exactly. I think that was the point I
sense.
was getting to is
Yeah.
the players are tired. That's why most of the veterans rested today. It was kind of a scheduled loss. We've had a few of those this season. There was hope in this game again, but just could not execute.
I think the other thing worth pointing out, as Steve Kerr has many times, was that they haven't practiced in days.
10 days.
They
haven't
cannot
had
practice.
a practice.
They just
There's
are
no
going
time.
from one game to the other, and any days in between games they need to rest, so they can't get on the court and practice in the way that they have. So for the most part, their preparation has been watching film and just kind of talking about it and hoping that they can pull off and execute a game plan that is made for that game. The hope is that once they get back home and they are on the road less, they'll be able to get into the rhythm of practicing, and we'll start to realize the full potential of the team as it currently is and as it was early in the season. The other major thing that was revealed today was DeAnthony Melton is still being assessed. They're going to reassess him in another week. It's kind of looking like December might be the goal for it, which would be much, much welcome. Still waiting on news for the exact timing of Seth Curry joining the team, but those would be a good shot in the arm as well. Some new blood and new dynamics to kind of work with.
Yep. So the Warriors ended this road trip 3-3. I think there was certainly some progress made, but not enough to get those tough wins at the end. I think the team is looking forward to going home. The next game is going to be a home game on Friday versus the Portland Trailblazers. It's an NBA Cup game. We will be there.
Hell yeah.
It'll be nice to be back at a game. We're actually going to the next 3 home games.
Love to see it.
So Friday, Monday, and Wednesday. Very excited to go. It feels like we haven't been to a game in so long.
It truly
because
does.
we haven't.
Yeah. I mean, like, the people who have suffered most from this extended Warriors road trip is me and you.
Yeah.
Not the players. Us specifically. Our mental health is in tatters.
It is.
We need basketball vibes from the Chase Center. We need to see Steph Curry. We need to bask in his aura from a safe distance.
Yeah, and we need to go buy some merch to make us feel better. We need to go spend a lot of money at the team store.
Yep. That's going to be good.
That always makes
We're
us
going to be
feel
walking around with a lot of Brown the Town clothing.
Oh, Brown the Town.
Brown the Town.
Love it.
Poop everywhere.
All right. Well, we'll see you on Friday. Oh, Boobies and Butthole.
Boobies
we
and
forgot
Butthole?
it for the last episode.
Yeah.
We're so sorry to all of our listeners who
We
were
got
looking
multiple
forward
messages
to that.
being like, what about the... Yeah. There
Did we
go.
get multiple? I didn't get
I
any
did, yeah.
messages. You did?
I did, yeah.
From who?
From various people that listen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the boobies today were... I think Pat Spencer was really fun to watch. He was great. He came out and popped off. He's such a fun player. He shot some wild shots and did a Steph Curry shot from like way too far away, which was really cool. And the other one, I think, was the actual effort that was put in by the team. I fully expected us to lose, which we did, but I was pleasantly surprised that the young guns were able to put up such a fight against a team that had, Bam Adebayo on it, Andrew Wiggins, former Warriors player, and a few others as well that are big kind of threats to any team. What about yours?
Yeah, I'd say boobies for me, definitely Pat Spencer. Not to copy you, but I really, even during the game, was so impressed with what he was doing and the energy and momentum that he was creating. And that one shot he made from like 34 feet looked like such a Steph shot.
Yeah.
I'd say the butthole for this game was that we lost.
Yeah, that's same
When
with
it
mine.
looked like we were so close to, pulling out the improbable,
Yeah.
impossible. I think we all knew that we were going to lose, but we, got so close to winning. It really, my hopes were up, and then, just all my dreams were shattered.
Yeah.
Right? So that was the butthole of the day.
That was. How do you feel about that, Miko?
Miko Lash?
It's pure silence. She got nothing to say.
Yeah, she was meowing earlier, and now she has nothing to say.
You want to meow for everyone? No, she don't want to meow. Anyways,
We'll see you on Friday. Thanks for tuning in. Just us on 3. 1, 2, 3.
just us.